The last few seconds of Digimon Adventure 2020 episode 35 arguably stole the conversation this week, so much so that I had to make a separate video about it. But the episode itself was a really strong one, serving as Angewomon's introduction and as the culmination of the Hikari and Tailmon uniting mini arc. Before I forget, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It just means you're supporting the channel for absolutely free, and it makes it easier for you to find the new videos. It's always awkward asking, but whenever I bring this stuff up, my new subscriber count for the day is like double or even triple the average. So, okay, episode 35 time. This episode had a lot to enjoy for fans of the more fantasy side of Digimon, with the whole underwater setting and the kids and Digimon being able to breathe and walk underwater thanks to MarineDevimon's blessing from last week. It felt to me a lot like a JRPG, like you'd see the water area and it's inaccessible, but eventually an NPC gives you the water boots or ocean gills or some kind of item that lets you access a whole new part of the map that's underwater. I also loved seeing a couple early shots of Tailmon and Sora kind of comparing notes and asking big questions about the next part of the mission. It was nice seeing the two most level-headed members of the team recognize each other like a meeting of the minds. But it was also cool seeing the kids and Digimon engage with partners who aren't their own. After all, they're all still supposed to be part of one large team, so there's no reason they can't kind of mix and match. There's an initial action scene that really did a fantastic job exploring Tailmon's character and inner fears. Basically, she knows she's going to have to evolve to stand a chance against bigger and stronger Digimon enemies, but the thought of evolving reminds her of being trapped inside Skull and Dark Knightmon. She describes herself as feeling like a puppet, sort of being trapped inside Dark Knightmon, but also sort of being him during those times. It's an interesting reason for a Digimon to be scared of fighting and growing, and I really like this a lot. The action set piece of the week comes when underwater Digimon grabs onto our precious Commandamon and drags him and the team into that abyss. When everyone comes to, Hikari is missing, and it turns out she's been grabbed by MarineDevimon, who Tailmon says is being powered by one of the Millenniummon crystal shards. I loved seeing MarineDevimon, and I have to imagine Devimon fans must be thrilled that this new series has given us so many Devimon forms. Tailmon acts out of panic and rage to save Hikari, but it leads her down a dark path to the point that she kind of has this Dark Knightmon aura around her. I really liked this shot where it cuts to Dark Knightmon's point of view from a previous battle against Greymon, and it makes Tailmon recognize Greymon as a former enemy. Just before things get too messy though, Hikari is able to snap Tailmon out of it. One thing that made me laugh a bit is the beginning and end of Hikari's motivating speech. In Japanese, it was kind of Dame Tailmon, which just made me laugh because it's kind of like saying bad Tailmon or no Tailmon. It's like something you would say to a misbehaving house pet or a little kid. But ultimately the speech is strong enough to help Tailmon understand that Hikari is her light and a guiding path away from all that darkness of her past. This allows her to digivolve into Ultimate, and we get this awesome Sailor Moon style transformation into Angewomon. 20 years later, I think this is still one of the best character designs that Digimon has ever put out, and it's great seeing her in action again. Angewomon also puts out an aura that lifts up Hikari and glows around her. I enjoyed seeing this fight truly feel like MarineDevimon versus Angewomon and Hikari. It even seems like the Holy Arrow was kind of formed from Hikari's Digivice, if I understood that correctly. Regardless, MarineDevimon is done for, and the episode wraps up shortly thereafter with Koshiro calling in and telling the team he has one last idea for how to stop the ISS ship that's been crash landing into Tokyo for a few episodes now. To be completely honest, I haven't been prioritizing this B-plot too much, even though the stakes are huge, but after I saw that Who's That Digimon segment showing BlitzGreymon for next week, this is now the only thing I can think about. It's been a bummer that Izzy and Kabuterimon have just been flying aimlessly for over 6 weeks now, but I hope that we get some meaningful action from Koshiro and Tentomon next week, and I hope they play a pivotal role in creating BlitzGreymon. By the way, if you're wondering what I'm talking about with BlitzGreymon, maybe you're not familiar or you turned off the episode once the credits started rolling so you missed the preview, go check out my other video from yesterday. I'll drop a link in the comments. Overall, this was a really fantastic episode even without the huge BlitzGreymon news. Angewomon's debut felt worthy of the prolific character, and honestly, the character work with Tailmon having fears about what evolution will do to her was really strong writing. I feel like giving this one a 9 out of 10, especially because of the tease at the end. It's just now going to be an episode I never forget. But let me know what you think about this. Comment below and I'll feature some of the best comments of the week in my next video for episode 36. Okay, until then, take it easy.